Hey folks, Ruds here. We're going to do a video tonight and talk about beginner straight razor shaving. We'll go over several topics to get you on your way. So next we need to talk about how you're going to hold your straight razor. And the most traditional way to hold a straight razor is with two fingers here on the tang, one finger on the tail, and your thumb on the bottom of the tang there. So that's what it looks like as the tips of your fingers faces your face. That would be for any strokes going north to south, or slightly east and west, but mostly north to south. For the upstroke, there's several ways to do it. I prefer to hold the tang like this and then move the razor south to north. There are other ways to hold the razor, but those are typically your two most traditional ways to hold the razor. You can move the scales, or some people call it a handle, out of the way, as far out of the way as you're comfortable with. Alright folks, let's talk about how to find the angle when you're going to put the razor to your face. So conventional wisdom says that you're going to put the blade against your face and you're going to rock it out two spine widths. So the spine is the top here, the top part of the razor. You want to go two widths away from your face so that the edge is touching your face, and the spine, if this was the spine, the edge is down here, so that the spine is about two widths of itself away from your face. Really the only way you're going to find that out is by trying it. Note, unlike a DE, you cannot lay this blade against your face and think about it. As soon as you put the blade to your face, you need to start moving it in the intended direction you want to go, or it will lay right into your skin and give you a small cut. So put it to your face, rock it out quickly, and use that angle. Maintain that angle by keeping your wrist locked, and use your larger muscles in your arms to move the blade downwards. I'll show you again from the side here. Short strokes to start. For those of you that have been DE shaving previously, you remember those short strokes from when you learned. Another important aspect is skin stretching. And what skin stretching will do is keep the skin tight, which is most important when you're going against the growth of your face, but it's certainly a valuable habit to get into even when you're going with your grain. So the way you skin stretch is, if you're moving in a north to south direction, typically you want to stretch the skin south to north like this. And what that does is it creates a tight skin, and also helps flatten surfaces on your face. As you can see, I have pretty rounded cheeks, so when I pull up, it creates a bit of a flatter spot on my cheek here. Alright, so next we'll talk about what we would call an upstroke. One thing to note, it's always good to keep a face cloth or a sponge nearby, and you wipe the blade away from the edge to get the used lather off of the blade. You can rinse the blade. Some people say that getting this area wet will increase the likelihood of rust between the tang and the scales. That's up to you. I prefer to wipe the blade most of the time. So upstroke, again, I pinch. I'm going to stretch the skin down because I'm going south to north on my neck. short, choppy strokes, maintaining that angle by keeping my wrist locked. Alright, so now that you know what to look for when buying a razor, how to hold it, how to find the angle, how to stretch your skin, and you're done with your first attempt, or you're about to start your first attempt, you may be thinking to yourself, well, how many passes do I do? And what direction should I try first and whatnot? So first and foremost, if you're a DE razor shaver by habit already, I would suggest that you follow your current routine. So if you start with the grain and then you go across the grain for 2 passes, try that with the straight razor. Most straight razor shavers would say start with just your cheeks till you get comfortable with that angle. I would absolutely agree with that. If you want to get down on your neck, go ahead. Anytime your body curves, whether it's your chin, whether it's your jawline, those areas are always going to be the hardest, and it's really not hard in a sense that anything changes, other than it's hard to keep the correct angle when you're moving the razor over those curvy areas. You still need to maintain that correct cutting angle. So if you're absolutely new to straight razor shaving, I would suggest that you only start with the grain for probably a week. I would only do the cheeks, maybe some on the neck if your neck is very flat. Anywhere where you're very flat, and I would go with the grain. So the grain pattern on your face, you need to understand that first. Certainly Google what that is, but there's something called beard mapping, and what that does is shows you and allows you to feel and graph out which way the hair on your face grows. So lastly, I just want to go over things to look out for, things to avoid, and what I'll call pro tips. First and foremost, and this may be a bit controversial, but I truly believe everybody should learn to shave with both hands using a straight razor. It may extend the learning curve a bit, learning your non-dominant hand, but in the end, the shaves are going to be more proficient. You'll be able to do it more efficiently, quicker if you have to rush the shave, and it's just a good habit to learn. People have been doing it for thousands of years that way, or hundreds of years that way, so there's no reason the modern day man can't learn to shave with both hands. Always be mindful of the what you call the tip of the razor, the toe. A lot of guys will find a beautiful square pointed razor that they want to try first, and what they'll end up doing is they'll start shaving and they won't understand that tip of that razor is razor sharp, no pun intended, and that will dig right into your skin. So it's called in the straight razor community as tip awareness. I'd recommend, if you're starting out with a straight razor first time, even a DE razor shaver moving to straights, get yourself a round pointed razor. See how it's rounded there? Anywhere from 5/8 to 6/8 in width, and that'll give you enough weight to feel the razor. But you know, the wider the razor, the heavier it is, and the harder it will be to control as you learn that muscle memory. One of my pro tips that I tell everybody that'll listen to me is, when I started straight razor shaving, I don't remember who told me, or maybe I just did it on my own, but I start with my non-dominant hand, which for me is my right hand, and I always start my shave with my right hand. And what that allowed me to do was stay laser focused with the area I was weakest at. You know, even as you learned to shave with a straight razor, you're going to get a little bit confident, but at the beginning of the shave, you're most focused, and so I find that using the non-dominant side first kept me the safest to start. Another pro tip from the community here is, if you're going to get into straight razor shaving, you need to commit to it. It takes quite a bit of muscle memory, probably more muscle memory than learning how to DE shave. So it's suggested that you do this and consistently do it. A lot of guys will call it the 30-day challenge. And what that is using the straight razor for all your shaves for 30 days straight, or in some cases 30 shaves straight, because some people do not shave daily, whether it's a cartridge razor, an electric razor, a straight razor, or a D razor. A lot of people ask, can you shave daily with a straight razor? And the answer is yes. With proper technique, a good soap, and a good routine, I shave daily with a straight razor all the time on my face. It's extremely rare for me to put a DE razor to my face nowadays, because I just enjoy these shaves so much more. Alright, that's going to wrap this beginner's guide to straight razor shaving up. I hope you found this informative. Thank you all for watching.